Welcome to this week's episode of the Spartan News. I'm your host, Kylie.
And I'm Jackson. In this week's episode, we'll be covering different ways to make a difference in your community, TikToks, IHSA playoffs, and much more.
Boys basketball tryouts will begin Monday, November 11th from 3:30 to 4:30. Make sure you are registered on 8 to 18, have your physical turned in, and have taken a concussion test. See Coach Stacy if you have any questions.
Track will have open practices starting November 5th. Then on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3:30 to 4:30 in the fieldhouse. Practices will run until the season starts. Be there if you are interested. Class of 2023, the deadline for your fundraiser is just around the corner. Forms must be turned in online or to Mr. Anderson or Mrs. Robles by Wednesday, November 13th. Continue to make those sales.
This week, I had the chance to speak to Ashley Parks, a senior here at SHS, about a fundraiser that she is spearheading in support of the families that were affected by the apartment fire this summer, as well as other families in need. I'm Kylie Ryder, and today I'm here with Ashley Parks. So Ashley, can you explain more about your fundraiser and what it's for?
Yeah, so when the unfortunate circumstance with the apartments at St. Albans, I really felt that some action needed to be taken, especially through this high school, since a lot of our leaders are here and they help out the community. And I was really inspired by how fast the relief came in support of those families. So I looked into contact with the Family Service Agency, and they have a program called Adopt a Family, which benefits a lot of families in the community. It's for the holidays, but kind of Christmas sort of fundraiser. And so we're going to do a fundraiser here that will support that program.
Can you kind of expand on the fundraiser and how we as students at SHS can get involved?
Yeah, so this program basically is around the holidays. You know, it can be hard to support families. So what they do is any family in need will send a list of gifts that they feel their children would want for Christmas and then can't necessarily afford. So a great sponsor will come in and take that list and then buy as many of those gifts as they can for those families so those kids can get something for Christmas. And so we have the potential to end up, since we have so many students here at SHS, we can serve as many to 5 to 10 families this Christmas, which would be a really great impact. And I think that's a great way we can help St. Albans families as well as many other families in the community. So you can donate at the high school from November 4th to the 22nd, and we'll be having giant water jugs with each class name on that jug. And so it'll be sort of competition between the classes to see who can raise the most money. Our goal is $1,000, so we're really hopeful that all you guys can come out there and just give as much change, any dollar bills you have, and it can really support these families. It'll be during A, B, and C lunch, and anything you can give would be really appreciated.
Thanks, Ashley. Remember, this event will run from November 4th to November 22nd during 4th, 6th, and 8th period lunches. Any donations, no matter how small or large, is greatly appreciated and will help make some holidays a bit brighter.
There aren't too many students in the building today who know what the Spartan Voice is. This once thriving publication used to garner a lot of attention when it went to print here at the high school. Let's go reporter Garrett Harms for the tell us of this return of the school's newspaper.
Sycamore High School has decided to bring back the school newspaper, the Spartan Voice. The newspaper is run by the students in Mr. Lyle's English 3 classes, where everyone in the classes have different jobs. We got a chance to talk to a few of these students, including Frida Cuevas, Jordan Swanson, and Ivy Schneck.
What we do is we all write articles, and him and Miss Olin, they read all the articles and see which ones fit very well, and they publish the article.
I chose to do this class because I thought writing was actually pretty fun last year, so I wanted to take another writing class, so I chose English 3. Editing, the teacher does it, and peer editing and all that, and then revising, we do it, we ourselves.
Or working class, because we're writing articles right now. That's what we're working on. So I think it's that, but he's also looking for something that is going to benefit school, something that can help people in school.
Well, we have outlines, I guess, and we have to find our own people to interview, and we kind of just are on our own. We just do research a lot, and it just kind of all comes together at the end.
I'm Garrett Harms. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Garrett. Be sure to pick up your copy of the Spartan Voice in the library or your favorite English classroom.
Currently, backpacks are not allowed during the school day, but there has been talk that the rule might change. Reporter Maddie Stacy had the chance to talk with some SHS students to get their opinions on carrying backpacks around the school. Let's see what they had to say. Recently, Spartan Senate sent out polls to student emails posing one question: should students get to carry backpacks around school? Spartan News decided to get some students' perspectives on the question.
I think we should have backpacks because with the Chromebooks, everything's so hard to carry around, and with a backpack, it's just a lot easier.
I do think we should have backpacks in school because it would make passing periods a lot easier to maneuver through and would make getting to class with all of our materials a lot easier. We would be forgetting stuff a lot less.
We also had the opportunity to get an opinion from a staff member at the school.
I understand why there's a backpack policy in place, but I think now with the one-to-one Chromebooks, I think it is an important thing that students have a safe way to carry their Chromebooks and other materials. And as a teacher, I don't have a huge problem with backpacks in the class. If the policy changes, that's fine. If it doesn't, I'm fine enforcing it. So.
For Spartan News, I'm Maddie Stacy. Back to the studio. Thanks, Maddie. Make sure you keep an eye out for more polls in your student email. Also, know that your voice can create change in our school. But unfortunately, until there is a rule change, we need to keep those backpacks in our lockers.
There are lots of great new movies in theaters right now. We viewed trailers for some of the most anticipated upcoming movies in 2019 and early 2020. We go to Trey Decker for his opinion on these movies.
Based off a true story, this movie is about 4 car designers and inventors trying to create the new fastest car to beat Ferrari in the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1966. This trailer gives us a glimpse into this driving story that has twists and turns all throughout it, making it nice and smooth. And it could also give a large amount of history on cars and manufacturing them back then. And overall, I'd give this maybe 7.5, maybe 8 out of 10, because I'm not big on cars, but this story seems pretty cool, mainly because it's based off a true story. This movie will go into theaters on November 15th. The final movie of this trilogy of trilogies in the Star Wars universe, The Last Skywalker seems to be reconnecting with the past more than ever with the resurrection of Emperor Palpatine and the Sith Empire shown in the trailer. Overall, this trailer will probably be the best movie of the trilogy. By the looks of it all, the new heroes will go on one final mission together to fight for the freedom of the galaxy. If I were to rate this movie trailer, it'd be a 7 out of 10, only because my expectations have been lowered due to the other movies recently. This movie will be released on December 20th of this year.
Oh, what a wonderful world.
Dolittle is another movie based on the book by Hugh Lofting. It has the same concept as the book, where he could communicate with animals. I'm really hyped for this movie due to the other Dolittle movies with Eddie Murphy, and this version of Dolittle is played by none other than Robert Downey Jr. I was captivated by his work in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the fact that he's branching out really excites me. Look out for this movie coming to theaters on January 17th of next year.
And there you have it. Thanks, Trey. Don't forget, the English department offers a class called Film and Literature. Be sure to sign up for it. We also offer the movie club, which usually meets after school on Thursdays in Mr. Daddario's room.
And now for a quick break. When we return, we will cover sports and more, so don't go away.
Last Thursday, SHS students woke up Halloween morning to find themselves in a winter wonderland. Although this time of year is packed with excitement for the holidays, it is important to be aware of the dangers that come along with the impending cold weather.
My name is Mr. Hampton, and I am a Dean's Assistant here at Sycamore High School. Snow safety is important basically because of the time management that needs to be taken into consideration. Some dangers is going to be black ice, ice that you don't necessarily see, places that freeze over. You got to be careful not only on the streets and the roadways, but also on the sidewalks.
According to FHWA Road Weather Management, more than 1,300 people are killed due to cold weather-related incidents every year, and an additional 116,000 people are injured.
Some of the tips that I would suggest, first and foremost, is to leave your house a little bit earlier, be a little more patient with other people, and just try to keep an eye out for each other.
Remember to be safe and be aware of your situation at all times, especially during these next winter months. For Spartan News, I'm Penelope Geese. Back to the studio.
Hello, I'm William Stewart, and welcome to Spartan Sports with Stu. Today we'll cover football playoffs, tennis, and soccer. Starting off, soccer had an excellent season. They finished the season with 13 wins, 5 losses, and 5 draws. The top goal getters for the season were Isaac Plagakis, Miles Gubrat, and Austin Bunge. The leaders in assists were Miles Gubrat, Tom Cruz, Austin Bunge, Robbie Sapita, and Joseph Quinn. The team also won in regionals but lost in sectionals, but great season to you guys. Now moving on to tennis. The tennis team had a great season, losing just 4 meets and getting second place at regionals and third in sectionals. Abby Kroll and Alyssa Cooley advanced to state as a doubles team, and they won their first game against De La Salle High School, but they unfortunately lost their second game against Ottawa, moving them to the consolation bracket. They ended up advancing to the third round before finally getting knocked out. Kroll and Cooley ended up being the second furthest advancing doubles team from the Interstate 8 Conference. Good job, girls. Moving on, we now go to playoff football. The football team has had a great season so far, but I got to speak with Coach Ryan and a few of his players before this week's playoff game.
Justin, how are you feeling going into this game?
We're feeling really good. Just a lot of practice and preparation, so we feel confident in it.
It's your senior year, big year, last playoffs you're going to have as a high school player at least. What are your personal goals for this playoff series?
I'd like to have 20 tackles in a single game.
So Grant, how are you feeling going into this game?
I'm feeling pretty confident going into this game. We've done a lot of hard practice this week. We've focused on a lot of individual things, and I think overall we're all ready for Evergreen.
And how have you prepped going into this game tomorrow?
Again, we've watched a lot of film, practiced all week. The weather hasn't affected us. We've gone just as hard inside as we would outside.
And what are your personal goals for this, your last playoff series as a high school player, being a senior, being the star quarterback everybody knows?
I just don't want to play my last football game, obviously, so my goal would be we want to bring home a state title.
All right, thank you, Grant.
Thank you.
So Coach Ryan, how are you feeling going into this game tomorrow?
Well, we're excited about the opportunity to be in the playoffs. So, we feel good. We're coming off a conference championship. We're playing well, so hopefully we can continue with that.
And then what is your game plan going into this game tomorrow against Evergreen?
Well, our game plans don't change much. We want to play great defense, and we want to be able to establish the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, be able to run the ball, and be able to pass when we want to. So hopefully we can continue to keep that recipe because it's been good all year.
And what are you expecting from your players tomorrow?
Well, I'm expecting great excitement. You only get so many opportunities to play this game. We got an extra one. We earned it, and we need to take advantage of it so we can get some more.
And then finally, what do you think Evergreen Park's going to bring to the table in this game?
Well, they got some great athleticism. It's a little bit different offense than what we've seen the last couple of weeks, so that presents some challenges. But they're excited too. They're in the playoffs. They get a 10th week, and they're looking. And they want to have a week 11 as well. So those are all challenges for us to face.
All right, thank you, Coach Ryan.
The team prevailed this week against Evergreen Park in the opening round of the IHSA playoffs, though. This week, they will continue their run in the playoffs against Montini, and the game will be on Saturday, November 9th at 2 p.m. Be sure to support your Spartan athletes. That's all the sporting news we've got for you today. See you next week on Spartan Sports with Stu, the only place you can get top-of-the-line coverage of SHS sports.
It's time for the Spartan Challenge!
This week on Spartan Challenge, we have students making TikToks for teachers to judge. Let's see how our teachers enjoy some of our favorite social media.
Today, you guys will be making TikToks, and we'll give you 30 minutes to think of them and create them, then we will have the teachers judge them.
I'm gonna win. I've never made a TikTok in my life. I'm the real TikTok star. I get 7 likes per TikTok.
What do you think the teachers will think of them?
Hate me. I'm gonna get suspended. I don't think they're gonna get them. I definitely won't. Okay, boomer. Okay, boomer. Oh my god. Wait, does this one swear? We're gonna be TikTok famous. I told them that you could put their ads in the video.
So, yeah, are we doing like best quality? Are we doing funniest?
What do you think is the best?
That's like way too vague.
Funny? Put together. Yeah, then you understand. Do you understand?
Never thought that one day I'd be losing you.
Goodbye, Mike.
And another life.
Ow, where are you?
I'll be
to stay, you know, hip with the teens.
Three's board, cross board.
Yep.
Clever and funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very relatable, because that's what some of you students look like in the hallway.
I'm gonna give it a 5.
Okay. I was gonna give it a 4 just because I don't know. I'm not comfortable giving it a 5. Just because like 5 is perfect, and I don't know if I would call that perfect. It was really good though.
It was a great laugh, so I'll give it a 5. I'm gonna rate it a 5.
We're gonna wake Stormy up and get out of here and show you guys her room. Rise and shine.
So we're hoping it was a snow day, but Kathy Jenner sings us Rise and Shine.
The superintendent says no day off.
Give it a 3.5.
Is that an option?
It is now.
Because yeah, I would also put it at that because I think that was in between the other two.
I will rate it I guess I gotta go with them at 3.5. That's a C.
It's a C.
Now that gets degrees.
That gets degrees.
C's degrees. I learned that.
So the winner is
Spooky Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know your name, so I can't say.
Tabitha.
Tabitha's the winner.
Tabitha Rocky Special Effects.
Yeah, I understood it. Exactly.
Do you plan on keeping up with any of these trends in the future?
TikTok.
From what I've seen so far, not here, but other TikToks, no.
They are pretty funny.
Yeah, I would have to say no, just because I don't have the time or energy to do that. Some of them are funny, but that's just not.
Congrats to Tabitha, and thanks to our panel of judges.
That's all we have for this week, Spartans. We'll see you next week. I'm Kylie.
And I'm Jackson. Keep looking for the Spartan Minute in the hallways and on Twitter. Have a great rest of the week, Psycho High.